I am really excited to interview you today, Harriet. Mostly, I've painted with you, but I have since heard that you do many other creative activities. So I wanted to find out a little bit more about when you started to recognize in yourself that you are a creative person.
Well, fortunately, I had a father who was a painter, and he's the one who helped me start painting. He taught me everything I had to know, and he started me with oil paints. He put a laundry bag over a bookcase and made it an easel. I went to a high school called Music and Art. I played the piano, and they taught me how to play the violin. And I went to college there. I majored in art, and it was there that I had a great mentor and continued with painting. I worked with Bridget Daly in the art studio. And if you don't know anything, you raise your hand and say, "What is it that we're doing?" I sold 2 paintings.
I've heard you read poetry. And what is it that brings joy to you about reading and performing out loud?
I love to read. It's my escape from the world, and it takes you far away. Or it takes you to something you know about. I read Philip Roth, and it's set in New York, Greenwich Village, Museum of Natural History, all places that I've been to. I went to many of these places with my husband who died, Milton, and we had wonderful times together.
Is that where you went to music school, was in New York?
Music and Art was a high school just above Harlem.
How long did you live there, and then when did you move away?
My husband lost his job as an editor of a magazine called Tori and Hobby World, which was all about the toy industry. And it's very funny. You have all these adult people working with toys, like Lego and Mattel and Barbie, Ken. And we went to a lot of places when there were conferences, like Boca Raton in Florida, where everybody played tennis and golf. And my husband slaved away while they played. So it was a very exciting time. We left New York to go somewhere where he could get another job, and we thought it would be in Seattle. We didn't know we'd end up here, retired.
Yeah.
And he couldn't take retirement. They say he died of cancer, but I think he died of not having work to do. And he was very depressed. He didn't like to leave the room. And then they took him to the 5th floor, and he died there. And I don't go back to the 5th floor.
Well, that's understandable. When your husband was still alive, were you able to paint or do your theater or drama or anything while you were? Yeah.
We once went to see a Janis Joplin concert. We knew that Janis Joplin's life was not going to last very long. She was belting it out like crazy. Her voice was hoarse. She didn't last long, but as we went down to the stairs, we heard her and we shook our head.
When you're here at the Mount, you are involved in quite a few activities. I hear you do some work with the fairy tale theater.
Yeah. Well, I love acting. I'm a shower.
When you're in those moments, how does time pass for you?
When you enjoy something, you don't think of time. You're in the here and now.
Do you remember any of the theater that you've done that you've enjoyed doing?
I didn't follow acting because I felt that it's very dangerous. There's something about your mind being in a role and not being able to get out of it.
You've come back to it now, though.
Yeah. Well, there's no worry here. I mean, playing Goldilocks doesn't take too much out of it.
When you're working on your art projects, how does that make you feel?
I feel at home. I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to.
I have noticed that when you're in a group of people painting, that you just charge in there and work away, and there's not a
Yeah.
pause in that time.
Yeah, they call me Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah.
I'm very fast, and I follow a project before anybody else.
Yeah, you usually end up doing several. When I was listening to you read poetry, you couldn't seem to get enough of it. Even though there were other people at the table, you wanted your turn again and again.
Right.
What is it about reading out loud that you enjoy?
Poetry is a whole other world. It's not like narrative. It's much more spiritual.
Do you think there's a relationship between creativity and spirituality?
Yes, I think they're the same. It's not rational. You dig into your inner resources, and what you do comes from your soul.
Well, I think we're at the end of our session. And I've really enjoyed having time to learn more about you, Harriet.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it.